Hello, my name is Lewis, and today I'll be recording episode 2 of my Bushido Life Change. In today's episode, I will share some articles that will indicate that following virtues of Bushido can indeed help your health, as well as demonstrating some activities which I've tried to integrate into my change. So, firstly, I want to talk about the potential health benefits of following the Bushido Code. First article we'll go to um, discusses how where's that? So this article here um, can show how the character strength of honesty and integrity can shape health outcomes and how it could be a key factor in healthy longevity. So here we go. So I feel like this bit here could be quite useful in indicating that honesty and integrity are really good for your health. Well, maybe not really good, but I think they are indeed healthy, and it goes without saying that some of these values you should be incorporating in your lifestyle no matter what. So, um, to find some scientific evidence, they have some values here. They say a lower risk of depression, which I think for a lot of these values, if you're out and about, you're more active. I think that's a expected factor that you could see come into play. 18% lower risk of lung disease could be tied into cigarettes or other stuff. And lower limitations in mobility. As said, you can go about living a more active lifestyle. I think that could play a part. I also want to talk about how the second article here uh, is actually a study on impact and equity and leadership and how they affect brain health. So um, I have to say though, this article's a wee bit more ambiguous in um, how the results show if they're good or not. Um, but yeah, I think they need more technology and more methodologies that can give a more clear conclusion to this question. But I do actually think that um, that these virtues definitely make a change in a healthy lifestyle. So yeah, it's quite hard to show how they do, but I think we all understand that it's quite obvious that if everybody followed the virtues of Bushido, that I think we'd have a more functional society. But yeah, first I want to move on to some activities that I took up. So first one being Odaka Yoga, which uh, it's a bit like traditional yoga um, mixed with martial arts, although it definitely ties into more uh, traditional yoga rather than martial arts, which I found. But um, it's pretty much a form of yoga that shares a lot in common with Bushido, mainly because of the martial arts principles. But I think it also it's a good form of yoga as it incorporates the core values of respect and honor, uh, especially to your body and practice. So yeah, um, I've also included a link to the article which can give a good background on um, Hatha yoga and how it could can improve your health. So that can also tie into your health benefits as well. But I've also put in a video of me attempting Hatha yoga, which I didn't find to be that successful. But I tried something that I wanted to include in my project because when in Rome, I did think it was quite embarrassing though. Um, but yeah, the less said the better. I think it was a good thing to try it out. Um, But yeah, good to see. But yeah, again, not something I see myself doing again, but it was good to give it a go. And yeah. But then my real activity that I did take up quite a lot during this project was meditation. And at first I tried it and it didn't work for me. Then I realized that meditation isn't like reaching this state of, spiritual happiness or spiritual, whatever. I think it's more just a form of relaxation. And when you start to feel comfortable, I think you've really achieved your goal. But it took me practice to start off with, and it was mainly in the mornings that I'd find it to be most successful. And at the start, didn't think it would make much of a difference, but it really did, and I did find it really good and really relaxing to try out. But yeah, I've also included another video of me here meditating, which I'll show you now. Hold on. This thing in the way. There we go. So in this video here, I meditate for 20 minutes. Even though I set my watch on for 10 minutes, it didn't go off. So I thought this was a particularly good video because this was probably the longest I'd meditated at the time, even though I didn't realize it. And I probably did. I think this was one of my best ones as well. So yeah, that's me realizing that I'd been there for 20 minutes instead of 10. But yeah. But one of my best experiences from episode 2 was getting to see my gran on her birthday. And yeah, this was her 72nd, which she absolutely doesn't look here. And yeah, it was special for me because for this project I wanted to make an emphasis on spending more time with my loved ones. So yeah, I think this was a nice lunch, nice time at Cafe Andaluz, which is a good joint. I think you should try it out at some point. Good place to go. And yeah, probably something I took for granted was spending time with loved ones. So for this project, I didn't realize that at the time, but now looking back on it, it's made a real difference. So yeah, and another Hibs game here. Standout experience probably from this episode was going to see Hibs win 2-1 again, this time against our local rivals Hearts, which is probably more special than the Celtic game, probably just because of how big of a rival they are to us. And I also got to see family, which I hadn't seen in ages, like my uncle, which was special for me as well. And it's crazy because you see all these people that don't normally go to the games, but then you go there, it's a full stadium, everyone's there, people that you haven't seen for ages are there, and yeah, I mean, it's just a brilliant day as well. But could have ended a lot worse. But I think we were the best team on the day. But again, I've included another video, which is definitely something you need to check out. So this is us singing Sunshine on Leith after winning the game, which was rare, but we rarely ever sung it. And after this, we'd sung it actually 2 weekends in a row, which was quite bizarre, but that's what happens when you start winning big games. So yeah, another amazing experience. But yeah, that's an example of the atmosphere after the games. But overall, episode 2, um, I felt like the activities that I incorporated really started to make a difference, especially to my mornings. So not so much Udaka yoga, but obviously meditation. Um, and that helped make my mornings feel less laborious and more relaxed, which, to be honest, I hadn't felt before. So, yeah, I also started to notice a change in my mood, which is slightly more upbeat than usual. And I probably have to say that this was probably down to Hibs playing well, which, yeah, which is a nice turnout of this project. I guess if I was not to go to the games, I probably wouldn't feel the same change in my mood. But yeah, definitely a change so far. But yeah, another note is I had to keep having to remind myself of the Bushido virtues during the day, which wasn't so good. And it's probably because I wanted to feel like I was making positive changes all the time because of Bushido. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure if that was a good thing or not, but it's definitely something to note. Um, but yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.